Then one of them, which was a lawyer, asked him a question, tempting him and saying, Master, which is the great commandment in the law? Jesus replied, you must. Loving God is not an option. He said you must. He did not say you may or you if you want to. He said you must love the Lord your God. If he's your Lord and your God, you must love him. How? With all of your heart, all of your soul, and all your mind. Next verse. This is the first and the greatest commandment. If we have to fulfill every other commandment, we will have to fulfill the first and the greatest. And Jesus said it is a must. We will have to fall in love with very God. So be very careful to love the Lord your God. Why would Joshua say be careful? Because it is very easy not to love God. And it's very easy when you are loving God to come out of the love for God. It means that loving God is not something you wake up and say that, I think I'm loving God. Or I love God, I'll continue to love God. If you are not careful, what will happen is that by the time you realize you are out of the love of God, and you are assuming that you love God. So Joshua said, be very careful. Why? The organ you use to love God is your heart. And many other forces are competing for that organ of your heart. Many other types of love are coming for that same container called your heart. And by the time you realize, what will happen is that the whole heart is not loving God at all. So John the beloved also came and said in 1 John 2 verse 15, he said, love not the world, neither the things that are in the world. So this your heart which you are using to love God can love the world, and it can also love the things in the world. If any man love the world, then the love of the Father is not in him. For all that is in the world, the lust of the flesh, the lust of the eyes, the pride of life, is not of the Father, but is of the world. The world passeth away, and the lust thereof, but he that doeth the will of God abideth forever. And loving God is basically doing the will of God. To love God is to rise. So this should be a motivation to love God. If you want to shine and keep shining, if you want to rise and keep rising, then make sure no one and nothing takes away your love for God.
Christ Palace International Ministries.